Morning guys, day 2. I'm just showing you what I've done for the seat carriage. I've widened that out and I've got the top part welded. I still have to flip it up and weld the bottom side of all that. The 2 inner pieces are done. I completed those yesterday. You see that oil spot there? That's from where I had it tipped up on the rear wheels with the front tires up against the garage. But there's no marks here, I'm just showing you. Anyway, I'm going to do the same thing again so I can get to the bottom and reinforce all these pretty welds. Sorry about the blurriness of my camera. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe this lens is dirty, I'm not sure. I didn't realize it till last night. There's the whole thing as it sits. It's 8.5 foot longer, which I think is going to work nicely for what I have in mind. Alright guys, remember the other day how much flex we had? Well, that's better. That's better. Alright. Just wanted to show you that. Alright guys, just getting you up to speed. I have cut out my seat pan, my seat back, which that may be shaded where you can't see it, and the piece I'm going to use for a headrest. It's particle board. There's the seat back. I'm going to be using this pink 1-inch styrofoam board, doubled up to make it 2 inches thick for foam, because I couldn't find any regular foam. Plus this is dense enough. If I sit up for a long time it'll probably crush in, but if not. And I am going to upholster the whole thing with what a mess. I bought a 6x8 canvas tarp. I wanted mustard colored, but twice the money, so I went with what they got, and I guess it's like a green or something, which I'm going to cut and use for fabric. This is what fell. Weed eater handle. Anyway, I took metal and cut it appropriately at an angle, drilled holes in each end so I can bolt to the seat pan, measured and centered and everything. And when I actually get it where I want on the frame, then I'll mark it and notch out for the 2 bottom tubes of the frame so that it will carry it at an angle, because I want the front to be up just a little higher than it is in the back. And with this being 2 inch and that being 1 inch, that should work nicely. So that's where we're at. And once you think I forgot about you. Okay, I have my seat foam cut. And the seat pan, I've got the braces attached up underneath it. It's just resting up there for the moment. I don't want to do anything with that until I get the backrest ready, so I know where to position the seat pan. And what I'm going to do is use this piece, which was actually attached to the very front end and ran down beside for side rails. And the reason I'm going to cut this up and use it like that is because of this nice 25-degree bend. Will make for a nice headrest, and I can utilize the bends that are already in metal, since I haven't got a tube bender, pipe bender. But I've been struggling with it mentally because the angles are complex. It's got a 12-degree stretch outward from here, which means in order to weld a piece in there, I need to cut a 6 on each side right there, a 6-degree angle cut, and then also to emulate the same thing at the bottom so the headrest is actually vertical, I will need to cut a 25-degree angle down there. And just trying to figure out all the little pros and cons on how to go about doing this without screwing it up has been keeping me busy for a little while. So anyway, I think I about have it figured out, and I'm going to proceed. I'll show you more when I get that far. Alright, it's getting evening time. I got that piece we were looking at a few minutes ago, the side rail off the original buggy, cut up. I cut a 25-degree on each of the bottoms and fish mount them so they'll fit the pipe on the side rails. I cut it right down the center at the top, and then I spaced it out where I want it and measured the difference and cut 2 pieces, each with a 6-degree angle and a 90, well, an 84-degree angle, okay, and a 90, and I'll weld them in one at a time so I get them square, and then I'll weld the 2 90s together to complete the thing. Then weld on my tabs, screw on my back seat, on my backrest, and position it on the cart and see if where I think I marked it is going to work. And I need to know that before I can mount the seat. It all goes together, you know how that works. But anyway, I just wanted to show you what I got done. It's getting dark, and I usually don't make good videos in the dark, so the dogs are hot. They need to go in and get a drink. They've been out here with me for a couple hours. And according to the old thermometer, it's about 88, I guess, is what that looks like. Warm enough. I'm sweating like crazy all day. I know they need a drink. Okay. We'll keep you posted. Morning guys, day 3. 81 degrees under cloudy skies with a little bit of sprinkle, which is actually good. It's keeping it cool. There's the backrest that I was talking about earlier. I've welded all 3 pieces together, and it came out relatively straight as I expected. I knew those top corners were going to bend down because of the angles. Other than that, it came out pretty good. I'm pleased. Somehow or another, I lost a 1/4 of an inch in the distance in between the span, so I'm going to have to recut my boards for my backrest and headrest, just enough to compensate for that. Not a big deal. Anyway, I'm going to take care of that and then weld on the securing tabs, and I'll show you how I'm doing that as I get there. Where'd that girl go? There she is. There's that Izzy. I gotta keep this little child gate up there in the garage, keep her from running out. There she is. Oh yeah. 98 degrees. Alright. Got the roll cage welded together. Made my little tabs to hold the headrest and the backrest. Mounted them on there, and then with the help of my loved one, she held it up for me, put the angle finder on it while I tacked it onto the frame. I made those tabs out of this. One just like it except twice as long. 1/8 inch steel plate, 3.5 inches wide. I cut them 1 inch strips approximately on the chop saw. Drilled 5/16 holes in them. Cleaned them up. Welded my seat base metal to the frame. The dogs are wanting to go in the house, so I'm going to take a break. Next thing, figure out how I'm going to support this thing. This is where the old roll cage bolted to, which if you look at them you can tell that one's crooked than the other. The whole thing was like that. Everything was twisted on it. And come and meet here. And I still want to get the same clearance for the motor, because I found out that day I flipped the wheelie that it really paid off. It kept it from going all the way over. So the way that it came up and out away from the motor, even though I didn't like the looks of it, was actually very well thought out. So I'm going to retain that, which this is it right here. And that's pretty much exactly how it looked. It mounted onto the frame, came up, bent back, and went to the top of the roll cage, which is over there, which I'm no longer using. Now we're using this. I'm going to fish that out of here just because I want to show you something. Well, I shaved a few inches off of it. That's where it did mount and how tall it was. So I'm actually shaving approximately 3 or 4 inches off of the whole thing. Alright, that's it for now. Alright, it's evening time. I have no idea what time it is. We had a nice little rain blast. Had to pull things inside. And what I'm trying to show you here is I cut the original roll cage in half and used the rear section relatively like it was. This is what